So for part B, it's for the non-inverting amplifier. I'll be using the same breadboard from part A, using those two capacitors, and this is connected to the ground. The red rail is connected to the positive voltage, and the blue rail is connected to the negative voltage. So for the non-inverting amplifier, the input from the function generator goes directly to pin number 3. So this is the BNC to banana cable. This is the signal side, and this is the ground. This is the ground. And again, we count from the left side of the circuit. So if the semicircle is here, from the left side, the first pin is pin number 1, the second one is pin number 2. So the input goes to pin number 3. And then the input resistor goes to pin number 2 and then the ground. So here's the input resistor to pin number 2 and the ground. We also have the feedback resistor from pin number 2 to pin number 6. Here's the feedback resistor from pin number 2 to pin number 6. And then pin number 4 is connected to the negative voltage. Here's pin number 4. And here's the negative voltage. Pin number 7 is connected to the positive voltage. And then the output is connected to pin number 6. So this is the probe that's connected to channel number 2 on the oscilloscope. Here's pin number 6. This goes to the ground. Then step number 2 from part B says apply power to your circuit, then apply signal from the function generator. So we have the same connections as we did from part A. Also the display limit for channel 1 is 12 volts and 1 amps. For channel 2, 12 volts and 1 amp. The over voltage for channel 2 is 13 volts. The overcurrent is 1.5 for channel 2. For channel 1, over voltage is 13, the overcurrent is 1 amp, 1.5 amp. So press the output 1, output 2 to apply power to the circuit, then apply signal to the circuit. Step number 3 says set the function generator frequency between 1 and 10 kilohertz. I chose 2 kilohertz, and then set the function generator amplitude to an amplitude just above the value that noticeably saturates your amplifier. So for the amplitude, let's choose 1 peak to peak, auto scale. So the circuit is, the waveform for channel 2 is saturated. Also, if I reduce the input, it is still saturated. Center the waveforms and maximize both waveforms to just short of pulse clip. This is to center channel 1. Just press here to center channel 2. This to maximize channel 1. To maximize channel 2. Then step number 5 says capture the input and the saturated output waveforms on your USB drive. Save, then press to save. Step number 6 says reduce the function generator output until your circuit is not saturated. So I'll reduce the input. So now the green waveform is the output waveform and it's not saturating. Measure the input and the output voltages of your inverting amplifier. Then calculate the gain. So V input peak to peak is peak to peak 1. V output peak to peak is peak to peak 2. And the gain is peak to peak 2 divided by peak to peak 1. For the non-inverting amplifier, you know that the gain is 1 plus the feedback resistance divided by the input resistance. And this should equal V output peak to peak divided by V input peak to peak.